Live from LeadFeather Studios, it's the most controversial film podcast on the air. I Don't Give a Flick.
Welcome back to another episode of I Don't Give a Flick. Hey, I'm Johnny Blackburn. You know who I am. This is the umpteenth time we've done this. I've got this guy over here.
Hello, I'm Gary. Nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well.
It was a very pleasant introduction.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
It's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. And
I mean, this whole intro has been a train wreck. This is a train wreck intro. Good God, this is garbage.
Captain Positivity over here. We've got Mr. The guy who's going to introduce himself, I would assume. I
guess if we're just going to keep rolling, yeah, this is Neil.
Do you know how expensive film is? We can't just keep
Neil, we gotta go. Dude, your contract. Yeah, come on, man.
My God, man.
Your fee by show is when I'm going to talk about it.
We are still in negotiation. You haven't met my minimums.
I mean, it gives me an aneurysm every time I think about it. Guys, it's a pleasure to finally. It feels like we've been trying to do this for like a year or two, something, man. We've been talking about it back and forth, just trying to get on each other's shows and scheduling. And Jon Esquivel. He's here. Our old, God, we go way back. Middle school and high school.
Yeah. Wow. Way back.
Way back.
That's great.
Yeah. Too far back. Great memories.
Loving
Jon,
the energy.
Loving the energy.
It's good energy. Happy April 1st, everyone.
Jon is the host of the... Jon, why don't you plug your podcast real quick? Give everybody a little intro on yourself.
Well, I'm Jon. I'm a podcaster based out of, I'm a photographer that happens to talk into a mic and put it on the internet. My podcast is Jon's Mostly Movie Podcasts. Based out of Manhattan, I host it with my friend Kat Nardizzi and my friend Nick Edwards. It's kind of like a rotating, they rotate, back and forth scheduling. It's nice when you have two different schedules to work with. You know how it is, guys.
Of course.
But yeah, and I agree. We've been talking for about a year or two about scheduling, trying to figure things out.
Life happens.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we could sync up. It's great.
Yeah, man. Likewise, dude. So Jon's been a lifetime, sports and movie enthusiast and buff.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's usually where our conversations lead to each time, like we're catching up at some point.
Normally, yeah, it usually does. After hey, what have you been up to? Those are usually the top two topics of conversation. Very true. We've done everything from midnight premieres with this guy to playing dodgeball and basketball leagues. Just over the years.
So for life.
GT Hood.
GT. Yeah. I fucking forgot about GT Hood, man.
Oh, I will never forget about that.
I didn't forget, but I haven't thought about it in a little bit, kind of thing.
For context, that's the name of our dodgeball team, the dodgeball team, GT Hood.
The absolute dodgeball team.
People, they've been talking about trying to. They've been like, hey, when are you gonna try to get a reunion going? Maybe just like I was like. Dodgeball in our 30s.
Old.
I mean, I'd be down. We'll see.
A geriatrics league.
Yeah, what the hell are you talking? Yeah, we're like in our late 30s.
I'm probably playing this
one. The one that has to put our body on the line out there.
That's true.
Oh, God.
That's true. You got to put your ass on. Hey, GT Hood never technically won at all.
Nobody did except for the Unbeatables.
No, we had one tournament.
That's why it was a great name,
right? Yeah, that's right. The roided out baseball team. Yeah. Hey, if you guys are listening, we appreciate the viewership.
I mean, we hate you.
Neil, don't drive him away. Don't drive him away. There's not many.
This is great energy. I agree with
Neil.
Neil.
I love it. It's just fantastic.
So what are we talking about today, Johnny?
Guys, today we're going to get into the greatest sports films of all time and everything in between. This one is one we've been talking about doing for a while, but just never really found the right panel to discuss it. And I think tonight we've got the group. I think this is going to definitely be fun.
Gary and I are definitely the right panel for this.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Well, okay, so let's think about it. Gary, what sports do you love?
I like golf.
Why? Why are you sorry?
Maybe we should make this an ASMR show. Those are pretty popular. No, I like golf. That's good. I like golf.
Gary can actually play golf fairly well.
Yeah, Gary is actually a very good golfer. Nice. There you go. But that's a sport you love. I mean, Neil, what about you? What sports? There's got to be one or two that you love.
I mean, I do definitely enjoy when we played dodgeball back in the day. I definitely wouldn't pick up a ball today. But mainly the only sports I follow are Miami Dolphins football.
Can you believe that was almost 20 years ago?
Well, there you go. So football. Yeah, that's great. But you're lovers of movies. You're movie aficionados. You have a vast knowledge of them. So you're always a good pick to be on the panel.
Well, seeing as we run the show, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I would hope you. I'd hope you'd be a solid pick.
As long as the contract negotiations don't give out, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, his $6 million a season is really.
Oh my God! No, it's $6 million a season.
I wasn't supposed to give anything away. How many episodes have we had in this season? By the way, we should be on season 4 at this point, but I know we're still on season 3.
No, we started season 4. Yeah, we're 3 episodes into it now.
Oh, have we?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
It's just not labeled on the. I love when we give people like background info to the disorganization of the show.
You get an insight into how movie magic is made. Exactly.
Yeah. It's behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
That's what makes us unique.
Yeah. Basically, season 1 was 2020, season 2, 2021, and so on.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well done, Gary. Guys, what's the draw for so many people to sports? In general, I mean, even though we talk about like Gary and Neil, you're not the largest sports fans in the world, outside of maybe one or two, but you still do love those other sports. You enjoy playing them or watching them at least. Mm-hmm. Gary, I want to start with you. What is the draw for so many people to sports?
I think people like sports, and I think they've always enjoyed sports. Like if you go back to the Grecian times, like you had, the Olympics, more than 2,000 years ago, people would compete in these sporting events for fame and glory. It's really interesting to to as a player to try and play at the best of your ability. And, especially if you're in a very competitive sport, you're competing with other people so you can see who's like the best in the world. And then as an observer, which I think is why people like watching sports movies so much, you're also kind of grabbing some of that glory by proxy. So when you watch, Remember the Titans, you as the viewer in the film are one of the Titans by proxy. So when they win and they have success, you feel that too. And I think that's one of the big reasons that sports resonates with people so much. And the cheerleaders.
Yeah, well, the cheerleaders certainly help in particular sports for sure. John, what about you? What do you think?
No, I agree with Gary. I think what's interesting though is I think it has changed. If you look at kind of what sports movies have gone mainstream as of recently, it's changed because I agree with Gary. Movies like Remember the Titans, Rudy, you're rooting for, or you're on the team, you're rooting for the team. It's only as of recently, as far as with sports movies, that we're seeing that it's not necessarily looking at the team, it's more looking at the analytics side. So you look at what we were just talking about, Air. It's a sports movie, you would count it as a sports movie, but it's not about a team, it's about a shoe deal. But it is a shoe deal that, knowing basketball, had such, this opened up so much for the NBA. It wasn't just a shoe deal. It opened up leading to players being their own, being iconic. You look at then before that Moneyball. It wasn't about necessarily Oakland and being a part of the Oakland A's. No, you felt like you were with Billy Beane and the GM and figuring out, wait, sports, math, let's look at this as chess pieces. So I agree with Gary fully. I think at the start, sports movies, figuring out was about playing the game, figuring it out. And I think the appeal now is just to, in all sides, whether it's behind the curtain or not, is being immersive in it. We pretty much all, whether we like it or not, get exposed to sports. Now, whether we decide to stay with it, either playing, watching, following, that's kind of up to us. But we kind of get an exposure and have an opinion. Yeah, it's for me, or nah, sports ball, what? Not for me. Yeah, like you have a lot of different, but I think it's a common denominator, and anytime you have a common denominator, that's always an easy way to put a story. And what better way to show it than on film? Because that's majority also the way we intake sports as a whole, as far as like very common, is through the television or through a screen. So we're already used to viewing sports in that manner.
And it's been a while since I've seen Moneyball. But if I remember correctly, it was the Oakland A's, and they had like a season where they kind of just got to like, they didn't make the playoffs or whatever baseball calls it. And then so they instituted the Moneyball thing. And it was like, okay, we're going to pick these people based on the best performances that they have to make a cohesive team, regardless of like their, like, because I only want somebody who's a really good first baseman. I don't care if they can hit. I just need that spot filled. And then so they do that, they implement it, and they go throughout the whole season. And I think they end the next season after having implemented that in the same spot, right? I mean, they still didn't like win.
True. They didn't win the World Series.
Yeah.
No, that's accurate.
So, like,
No, they didn't win the World Series. It's more advanced analytics became a thing. So it wasn't just about judging the strongest and the fastest, anything. People were like, there's a science to this, specifically in baseball, which now seems like a no-brainer, of course. Like, there's things that you can pick up. But, like, before that, they were like, there's a science to seeing, is someone consistent, seeing how, like, trends there are. I
just remember walking out of that movie and being like, they didn't accomplish anything. God damn this movie.
Maybe the team itself,
I don't know if they didn't
but
accomplish
he
anything.
opened up, like he did, like he essentially went on. I mean, he broke the curse in Boston, and then he went on to break the curse in Chicago. For the Cubs. But I think as far as for the Oakland A's, it didn't accomplish maybe like a championship like you would have hoped, but it did adjust and change the game as far as like how people were looking at constructing their team, like how GMs were looking at players and scouting them. It wasn't just about purely talent. There was starting to be strategy into seeing that, oh, the money that we have and spending it wisely can give us an advantage.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Right. Neil, what do you think?
I mean, we've digressed so far. What was the question?
Oh, no, I was just...
I mean, we started with what was the draw to sports and movies, and then it was Moneyball. So
Moneyball, right? Well, no, my question was the original question. What was the draw for so many people to sports?
I mean, people love sports and people love movies for the same reason, because their life sucks. They want to be entertained for a couple of hours.
Morbid way of looking at it, but yes.
Forget about the bills that they need to pay. They want to go watch. They want to go watch.
Yeah.
People get paid lots and lots of money to play a game, or the same reason we go to movies, to go watch actors do what they do and act. I'm guilty of it too. And it's, sports are everywhere, movies are everywhere, but that's part of life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people really, I personally, love sports so much just because it really is the ultimate equalizer. It really is.
And you're depressed.
And yeah, exactly. And I'm depressed all the time. So
that's
why I'm always interested. So why I'm always doing like brackets and,
how is it the ultimate equalizer? That's the least equal thing.
Sports?
Yeah.
Why?
You got to find the best people
on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it really shows like the hardest working combined with talent, like rise above the rest.
That's not
what
equal.
About steroids.
In some sports,
yeah. That feels like.
Oh God, steroids and ping pong? Are you kidding me? Holy crap! Yeah, well that makes sense.
By the way,
they're always busting those balls.
Denzel Washington was in a movie called The Equalizer and in Remember the Titans.
Hey, absolutely. Do we think that
equalized?
He did. So does adding the subject of sport into a film increase the potential for viewership and emotion? Like, would people rather go see an inspiring sports story, do you think, above like, I don't know, a horror movie or a rom-com?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think with sports movies, it has an extra appeal because there's a finite conclusion. Like, so with the rom-com, like there's no like hard boundaries. But with a sports movie, you win or you lose the game.
Sure.
Or you tie, or the game's called, I guess. But there's
it's
like
soccer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a finish line, which or like an end goal, which I think does have appeal in regards to like what drawing people in. People like a conclusion more than sort of open ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Neil?
I mean, I definitely think sports movies has their place in the fact that if you have, two people, one person's a movie buff, but he doesn't like sports, and one guy's, a sports nut, but he's not really a movie guy. The movie guy is not necessarily going to go sit for 4 hours at a sports game, whereas the sports guy probably would go watch a movie about said sports, especially if it's a relevant team or if it's something, historically accurate, something that they're interested in. So I do think that they are beneficial and they have their pull to get into groups of people that may not always be into movies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much actually of an advantage the sports film genre or subgenre actually has. I think every one of those genres has, a pocket of people that will go see those regardless of really what it's about. If it's, I mean, I'm one of those people, not going to lie. It could be a movie about lacrosse and I'm probably still going to go watch it because I know that there's going to be some inspirational team building story. And I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. What about you, John?
I think I got to agree with Neil on it in the sense of like it has its appeal because like the film person will want to go see that, but at the same time, he's not going to go want to see a like sports game in like person, anything to that, pay the money, etc., etc. I think it's also the same as like making a horror film. It's like when you have a sports film, it's its own genre, so you know what you're getting into. I don't think like anybody writes a story and it's like we need to get a couple more million people into this. Let's add a sports line to it. I think pretty much sports stories and films are pretty set into it, and it's kind of its own thing into it. I think it's different as far as like, oh, let's add a plot twist. I think that's what we need, is a big ending plot twist that people start tweeting about and people want to see this movie because can't believe that ending. Whereas like I don't think it's like, oh my god, they added the Dallas Cowboys to this. Like I think it'd be more exciting for a porn. Like that's where it's like, oh my god, they added the Dallas Cowboys storyline into it. Can't believe it. For a regular movie, no. It's like it's not going to buff anything up.
Never mind.
Come on, guys, let's be honest. Debbie Does Dallas is the only reason that it's America's team. Like, Dallas Cowboys being America's team is just admitting America watches porn.
I'm going to agree with John on this.
Yeah.
Porn is where the money's at.
Well, porn is where the money's at.
Money shot.
No,
yes.
You're not going to get any argument from anyone here. Yeah, that's absolutely for sure.
I think it's not that it adds its own thing. I think if you're telling a sports story, you automatically have an audience. That's more the thing to it. It's kind of guaranteed that you'll bring some people in. There will be some people who want to know about the story.
Yeah. So do you think that there are what other types of, events or subgenres like sports films evoke a ton of emotion? What do you, I mean, like for me, at least, I don't know, just when I see the team finally coming together at the end or the person overcoming all the adversity over time, I don't know. I get a little choked up, not going to lie, in most sports movies. And so for me, that one evokes a lot of emotion. So how about you guys? Are there any, hard dramas or, romantic period pieces? I don't know.
That evoke like strong emotions.
That evoke strong emotions. Yeah. Yeah. Outside of sports films. Yeah.
I mean, I think any genre has the capability
of
evoking strong emotions.
Well, of course, yeah. I just meant you personally.
I think sports ones definitely can evoke some pretty positive ones because most sports movies follow what I would consider like the hero's tale of the underdog rising up against the adversity and potentially, hopefully, you're rooting for them to beat, big bad Goliath. So I think that's one of the strongest pulls to it. Like you said, people want that feel-good story about the underdogs that overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, That's been a trope, and it's one of the fundamental writing pieces of storytelling. You've got to, like, if you start off on top, nobody cares unless you then have a fall. But yeah, that's a huge appealing thing. Like, would you consider Rocky a sports movie? I mean, it's about boxing.
I have it
but
in here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. So like
I think
that
it just also depends what type of sports movie, because you have drama,
Fair.
but you also have comedy into it. Like it depends on what type of story. Because like, let's take football for example. Are we telling Rudy all drama, all feel good, everything to it, or are we talking about the Replacements? Which I'm sorry, I'll die on this hill. Go watch that movie. Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman can carry a movie, okay? That's all you need to know.
It's a great fucking film.
It's a great film. It's got a great cast into it.
It does.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the best football movie of all.
But at the same time, two different, and even in that comedy, because it's like, what's more of is Remember the Titans a comedy or is it a drama?
I mean, I laughed after he got into that car accident, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say drama with comedic elements for sure.
Could it be a paranormal romance?
Could it be a paranormal romance, Gary? I mean, they weren't communicating with the dead, so I don't think so.
If you look at the subtext of it, though, it's still not a paranormal romance.
What subtext are you referring to there?
None, clearly. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh my. All right.
But
John doesn't get the joke, Gary. Okay?
Oh. Well, that's
now you
okay.
got to explain it to him.
We had an episode about romance subgenres, and one of the subgenres we came up with was paranormal romance, but we couldn't really like find any like movies outside of like Ghost.
Hey, Twilight.
Casper.
What about
Casper?
Movies. I was like,
Warm
TV series. You got Blind
Warm
Manor.
Bodies.
Yeah.
I
mean, these all came out. Yeah. But anyway,
There's
so
plenty.
yeah.
But the porn version of each one was definitely better than the
Scream.
original.
But Debbie does Scream.
Oh wait, paranormal, not
Paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah.
not slasher.
Yeah.
Okay, what about 13 Ghosts?
Is there really a ton of romance in 13 Ghosts? I don't really.
Violence is
What
your
about
love
Ghost
language.
Ship? That was scary.
Yeah, man. Ghost Ship was
Fantastic.
Yeah, I had to sleep with the bathroom light on for that one.
That's the one where everybody gets cut in half.
I don't.
Okay.
Excellent
Is it? I don't
opening.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And the little girl's the only one that lives because she was shorter.
Yep.
That's
Spoiler alert.
It's at the start of the film, isn't it?
It is.
Okay,
It's like the
all
first
right.
5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So it's a really cool scene, though.
So, before we jump into our Mount Rushmore +1, those that always takes a while. What are some of the worst sports movies ever made?
Joanna Man.
I had Joanna Man as
Yeah.
on here as well.
Yeah.
Easily.
Okay, well played.
I have
Well
Rocky
played, sir.
5 as well.
You had what?
I still enjoyed Rocky
Rocky
V because I like the franchise, but I could see your point. You could definitely.
I mean,
I wouldn't get
and I
much
had the rookie.
pushback from me.
Dennis Quaid, the rookie.
I haven't seen that one in a long
The
time.
Rookie?
I remember liking that one as a kid.
Not Rookie of the Year.
Not Rookie of the Year. No,
Okay.
blasphemy. If
I don't know
ever
if I've
put that on
seen.
the
I don't know if
list.
I've seen The Rookie.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Exactly. You don't need to.
I know Caddyshack 2 was garbage.
Caddyshack 2 is-
It was not as good as its predecessor. We'll say that for sure.
Well, they like tied their hands and brought them from rated R down to like PG ratings, and I mean, obviously, when you lose Ronnie Dangerfield, it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's garbage.
yeah.
Was the first? I guess the first Caddyshack was rated R.
I was not a fan of D3, The Mighty Ducks, because I really loved the first two. I don't know.
D3
I didn't
is
really
what, the
buy
new
them playing in
school when they're in
college.
High school.
Yeah, it was like high school or college or something. I didn't.
No,
I
think
don't know. It's
like
just
high school prep, and you feel it's college.
yeah. It just.
down.
I just Bombay was they didn't have Emilio Estevez in it enough either, and So
Really?
he was only in it for like 1 or 2 scenes, like once at the beginning and once at the end.
We couldn't afford him.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what else he was doing then, but
He was like, "Fuck it, I'll get out. If I get out and film these scenes, will you let me smell some fresh air?"
Please.
No, you must serve your entire sentence.
Oh God. No.
Makes me think of the Shawshank Redemption. That was a great film.
That is classic cinema.
Well, yeah,
Classic
Gary,
cinema.
that was classic cinema. Right?
Thank you.
Hey, I mean, it is a sports movie. At one point, Red was throwing a baseball.
Ooh, that's right.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
There was some sports in there,
It's on the list.
so that would make it that would bump down The Longest Yard to second best prison sports movie.
It's
Burt Reynolds is pissed.
It's only a list of 2, but you know.
Well, I'm glad you went with the Burt Reynolds long.
I mean, a list of 3 if you want to include Adam Sandler at a 3.
No.
I hated I hated Fever Pitch. That sucked.
Was that a baseball movie?
Was that with?
Wasn't that the one? Yeah, it was with Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. And he was a
everything
Red
he does
Sox
is
fan.
true
Barrymore.
garbage. Yeah.
He's fine as a I've come around to him as a TV show host, but I just hated him as an actor.
He fucking breaks and everything. I fucking hate him.
Yeah, man. I didn't even like him on SNL.
I will break you. Not Jimmy
He was
Fallon.
known for just breaking on SNL.
By the way, we're
Yeah,
having Jimmy
he
Fallon
always
on
busted
next
out.
week's podcast. So.
Yeah.
I wanted John Lovitz.
Well,
and
we're
I got
having
Jimmy
coffee
Fallon.
with we're having coffee with Jon Lovitz later tomorrow.
Oh, excellent. Perfect.
Yeah, later on in the day.
Cup of coffee.
Sure. All right, everybody. It's time.
It's time.
It's time for everyone's favorite game, Mount Rushmore +1, where we break down
And cry.
and cry. No, we go on ahead and we give our own personal top 5. Basically, here's how this one works. If someone says one movie in your top 5, you got to go ahead and replace it with another pick. So
Amazing.
we'll go in a random order. Maybe snake.
Well, we're gonna
snake
snake
style.
this, right?
We'll snake it, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cool. I'm doing in no particular order, right? We're just like
Yeah, no particular
calling
order.
out there.
Yeah.
We're just like cool.
Yeah. Oh.
So
First one I want to throw out is Fever Pitch.
you want to throw that out as being a
No,
consideration?
meaning if you throw it out, I throw you out. You're off
Okay,
the show.
okay.
That is Johnny's official first pick.
Whoa, no.
And
No.
swing and a miss.
Great.
And Neil strikes out.
Just like the movie.
Just like real life. Oh. Hurts.
All right. So to set the parameters, how much does sports have to be in these films?
I would say it has to be part of the plot. I mean, a solid part of the plot.
Okay.
If you took the sports out of it,
It would change the
movie would be
storyline.
complete.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Unlike Die Hard.
We're not going to get into this
I'm
debate.
kidding. I'm just playing.
I mean, Die Hard's the best Christmas
Yes,
sports movie ever.
John. Would you say that Die
Alan
Hard
Rickman
is
really
a-
plays one hell of a coach, man.
Would you say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Yes.
No.
Oh, thank you.
It's an
Thank
action
you. I
movie that
appreciate
takes
that.
place on Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's Christmas.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. We'll be here all night. We'll be here. Well, I'll invite you back for one of those episodes, and it'll be
Our
fun.
yearly debate on this Die Hard Christmas movie.
We do it every year.
bi-monthly.
It's fun. It's always,
Wait, do you
it's always a
believe
really
it?
good time.
Who believes it's not a Christmas movie?
Maybe. I believe it's not a Christmas movie. I believe it's not a Christmas movie.
Of course, so does Bruce Willis. So
So
That's true.
I agree that with Neil saying you're depressing. I'm sorry. We'll reach out.
I do watch it during Christmas time, though. I'm a hypocrite. So
Why, if it's not a Christmas movie?
I just still enjoy watching. Hey, Neil watches Lethal Weapon during Christmas time. That's not a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
it absolutely takes place on Christmas.
It's just,
Part of the
just
movie
because
does.
it's in California and it doesn't look like Christmas.
Boys. Killing me,
All right,
Smalls.
sports ball.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Speaking of
I'm gonna
killing
go
you,
first. The Sandlot, putting it up there.
Is that your
Boom.
official first pick, Johnny?
Official first pick. Let me pull up the old notepad, anyways. Here.
a classic film of love, loss, and betrayal.
Is it though?
They do lose the baseball for a little bit, and they have to get it back. Love, the lifeguard lady. Betrayal.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hot stuff.
All
Come
right,
on now.
well, Johnny got his official first pick for the Sandlot. Gary, what about you? What's your first pick?
Whoa.
Best sports movie. Top 5 sports movie.
Top 5.
Gary? I didn't say Gary got a pick.
I am going to go.
Get none.
I get none. Okay. I'm going to say A League of Their Own.
Great film.
There's no crying in baseball.
Hey,
I mean,
it's almost like that's the name of someone's podcast.
Synergy.
Yes, keep the money moving.
All right.
Very good. Very good. Tom Hanks, classic.
Yep.
John, what about you?
I'm going to take the obvious off the board, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go Rocky.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so we're just doing franchise, right? Because
No, Rocky 1. Just Rocky 1.
No.
Rocky 1, that's the Mount Rushmore. No other Rocky go up there. They're great. But like as far as like a Mount Rushmore of sports film, you're talking to a best picture winner right there. Rocky.
I'd stand by that statement.
Yep.
Okay.
Harry's like, boxing's
I mean,
not
Gary,
a sport.
we can debate this later.
Yeah,
You can shoot it down off the Mount Rushmore.
Neil, what about you? What's your first pick?
My first pick is going to be a little on the outfield. The little angels in the outfield.
Oh,
hell yes.
Yes.
You had to get one with Christopher Lloyd in it.
Sure did, Christopher Lloyd. And of course, I just listened
And
to
a little
Matthew
Joseph
McConaughey's
Gordon-Levitt.
documentary.
Mhm.
That was one of his first films, was Angels in the Outfield.
And then Joseph
was it
Gordon-Levitt
really?
was the main kid, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
McConaughey was he the pitcher or the batter?
He was the pitcher, I thought, right?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt? He was
No,
wasn't he
man.
the
No,
main
no,
kid?
McConaughey, yeah.
McConaughey.
I thought McConaughey was the pitcher.
No, he was one of the outfilders.
Was he? Okay. Who
He
was the pitcher
outfielder
then?
that like the angel.
The pitcher was that like weird guy. He was,
Oh yeah, that's right. That dude, that older dude.
I can't think of the name.
That was a perfect description, Neil. You're good.
I mean, if you saw the video.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. So Tony Danza
Tony Danza?
was, I guess he would have been the pitcher then. Adrian Brody, I
was.
forgot he
Oh
was.
my
I forgot he was in that.
It's a good cast.
It is a really good
Oh my
cast.
god, I can't.
It's like
I
Mount
forgot that was
Rushmore
Tony
style.
Danza.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's all-star
Talk
cast.
about who's the boss. What? Fuck. Okay. All right, John. Why don't you go ahead? We'll snake it back. Why don't you go ahead and give us another one?
Don't I get a second pick if we're snaking?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry, Neil. I apologize.
I'd expect that from someone who doesn't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
He says he's a sports ball fan. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
understand a snake draft.
Neil, by all means.
Do we say Hardball is a sports movie?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, that's easily.
But that's part of the central. That's part of the central theme. Yeah. I mean, it revolves
the central
around.
theme is him coaching.
Yeah.
Central
Okay.
Theme him coaching.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is baseball.
Ripped
I
my
mean,
heart out. Thanks for reminding me that movie exists because
Oh.
I've seen it and it rips my
made me
heart
fall
out.
in love with Biggie.
I mean, it's
Love
a,
when
it's
you
a
call me
great,
Big Papa,
great
Gary.
film.
Love when you call me Papa.
All right.
Gary,
I'm gonna go with. So this is what made my. This is my basketball movie, which is gonna shock you, Johnny.
Who's yours?
White man
Well-
can't jump.
No, you son of a bitch.
You absolutely stole that from Johnny. He was going to pick that.
Yeah. No. I mean, no. Wonderful pick. No, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I'm
Dude, that's-
pretty sure we just got to the 30th anniversary of it, but it holds up.
I just
It's
watched it the other night, dude.
amazing.
Oh, it's so good. Have you seen Champions yet? By the way.
I have not. No, I
Oh
need
man,
to go see it.
you should go see it. I think you'd enjoy it.
I've heard it. I've only heard hilarious and good things
I
from it. which
absolutely
doesn't
loved
surprise
it,
me.
man. Oh yeah, I love Woody Harrelson in basketball films. He might be my favorite. I don't know, basketball actor. He's been in
I
a
love
fair
when he goes
amount.
comedy.
Yeah,
I mean, he's great as a dramatic actor, but I love when he's doing comedy.
Yeah, me too. He's got a good blend of it in this one. And Sweet D Reynolds, man, Halen Olsen, she gives a hell of a performance. Yeah. Gary, what about you, man?
My next film is going to be Field of Dreams, which was a early 90s film, I think 91, 92. Basically,
they will come.
Exactly. Kevin Costner, James Earl Jones, I forget the lady in it. Anyway, so basically he's Ray Liotta's in it too, briefly.
Yeah.
A guy gets sort of these visions to build a baseball field in his Iowa farmhouse. I guess this is when Kevin Costner was younger, and then when he gets older, he becomes Superman's dad in that same farmhouse. I can't remember. Keep it all connected.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. We won't talk about those movies. But yeah, just it's a great film. It's just a really emotional film, and again, like all good sports movies, it ends with a triumph, I think, of him overcoming the problem.
Good job, Gary.
Gary, do you watch the Field of Dreams game when it comes on? They're starting to do now in the MLB. They build the stadium out in Iowa and play Field of Dreams in the clothing that the players wear. Yeah, they did it last season.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, yeah.
When did they start?
Last season,
Last season?
2021, I want to say.
Okay.
I had not heard of that.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, they built it out in Iowa. They built the fields. The uniforms were more like the old style 50s. Yeah, highly recommend checking it out.
Okay.
Yeah, Shoeless Joe Jackson. Oof.
Do they have stands for people, or is it all just video? Okay.
Yeah, they make it all. It looks really cool.
Okay. Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny.
It's always a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Rudy. Just got to throw it out there.
I thought that was going to be your first pick.
Talk about...
Yeah, I thought so too. I left that one off my Mount Rushmore because I'm like, I'm going to use the words of my friend here because he spoke it out really well. It's overloved.
Yeah. It is overloved.
We will remember Sam over Rudy.
It depends on the generation, I think, man. I really do. Those are two different, it was almost a decade apart.
I feel like
more than that.
But the thing about it is, I feel like even the decade that saw Rudy, I think attaches more him now to Sam than Rudy.
Well, Sam is,
then easily.
Sam's a better written character than Rudy because you had Tolkien writing Samwise.
Right. Although you may be right, I still think, for me at least, that I still think.
Also, football will always turn off the masses. As much as people who love football, as much people will be like, it's a football movie. I don't want to see it. Outside of the Super Bowl, that's where everyone's like, love or hate the game, they'll tune in.
I have that. Yeah, that's true. I guess I don't know. I don't know the numbers for football movies. Like, if people turn out more for basketball films or baseball, or I don't know.
I didn't even think to look that up.
Yeah, that actually would have been a good idea.
Okay.
I would say like football, it's harder.
Yeah, I typically, you don't see that actually is really true, John. I don't really see a ton of marketing for football films nowadays. I can't really think of the last one that got a ton of coverage.
Right now, you're like bread and
basketball,
butter
sure.
with Air, Hustle.
Oh, Air, Hustle was. Oh,
and then
Adam Sandler's another guy.
Had,
talk about great sports actors.
LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I enjoy seeing athletes jump over into acting for a little bit because honestly, some of them are pretty damn funny. Mm-hmm. Their wit is quick, and they do John Cena's another one. Yeah, but
he was an entertainer.
Are you saying
entertainer? Sure.
Wrestling is not real?
Oh, there's elements of it that are real, sure. But it's obviously
that are physical,
choreographed, and so
that's
be honest.
live on stage. What's happening? It's not
Carrie.
pre-planned.
Yeah, they don't have characters or anything that they create, and
No,
It's not a male telenovela. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No, not at all.
yeah. Hulk Hogan was really like that in real life. Well, he actually might have been.
yeah.
Now that I think about it.
You're a dead man, Ramsey.
Yeah, no, Rudy, man. It's just it was just the ultimate underdog story. Yeah, is it overloved, overplayed? Yeah, I mean probably, but it is for a reason. It's a classic.
Yeah, no,
it's
the whole time.
yeah. Yeah. So I would say, man, for my other one, and I just watched it recently too. But I'm gonna go Remember the Titans.
All right, good
For sure.
choice.
This for a long time, honestly, was just in general one of my top 5 favorite films when I was
felt like
when
you
I was
watched
younger.
that a lot when we were younger.
Yeah, I did as well.
I mean, like I think I remember watching it like 6 times in class.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely made us watch it in school.
Yeah. It's either that or October Sky.
Yeah,
Take your pick.
around
October
Science
Sky,
Fair.
100%
Remember
October
that?
Sky.
Yeah,
100%
that's right.
Teacher.
Bill Nye, we're just talking anything we watched. Yeah, I mean, it's classic performances by Denzel and Bill Paxton.
Will Patton?
Will Patton, I apologize. Thank you.
Yeah,
excuse
hold
me.
on, wait a second.
Yeah, like, wait a second.
Donald Faison. Ryan
Yep.
Gosling.
Oh, a young Ryan Gosling.
Oh, yeah, he was in that.
Yeah. And I can't remember the name of the actor that played Gary Bertier, but he was also in the first few seasons of Sons of Anarchy, and he really is a gem, man. He's done a lot of small bit roles, and I can't remember his name.
Left side,
anyway,
strong side.
Yeah. Anyways, solid cast. I don't. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Good God, it's been out for 20 years.
Ryan Hurst.
Thank you. Gary, how about you? Your third.
My third one is going to be a golf movie.
I was about to say, you got to represent your favorite sport at some point.
Yeah.
I was about to say I have 2 golf movies here, so I'm interested if you have any of them.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
He's gonna go with Tin Cup.
The first one I'm putting up is Tin Cup.
Tin Cup. All right.
I mean, like I gotta have at least 3 Kevin Costner nominations. So Tin Cup's going to be mine. Tin Cup is the story about a kind of washed up professional golfer who's just like teaching. He's a pro at just a driving range in Odessa, Texas, and Rene Russo is, comes to him to try and get trained in how to like play golf better because her, I think, fiance wants to play golf or something. Anyway, so he gets back into the sport and he's got to overcome his own problems of like being like, an alcoholic and depressed and like losing his mojo with how to play golf. It's just a great golf movie and a lot of fun. And it has a lot of special guest appearances by other golfers like Lee Jansen's in it. And then Cheech Mariner's in it as his caddy. So that's always fun. Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice. John, how about you?
Okay, so I'm going to go to a golf movie as well. And Gary, I saw how much you loved my Rocky pick, so I feel like this one might I'm sorry. So when I look at something as far as putting on Mount Rushmore for a sports movie, yes, you're like, is it good? That's a factor. But I also look into cultural impact, okay?
Sure.
Did this affect the sport that it's on? And I'm going to put a movie down that easily affected the sport when the sport was, from an entertainment standpoint, as far as viewership, fucking collapsing. I'm so glad Neil's smiling because he knows where this is going. So with my third, I'm putting up Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, baby. Nice.
Okay. I don't
Only
You didn't like Happy Gilmore, Gary?
I mean, I
it's
don't
a
know.
golf. If you poll people,
Hey, that's a solid pick, John. I like that one a lot.
100% the top one, and I'm not saying it's the best, but I'm saying that holds some weight to it.
Yeah.
If Tin Cup's off the board.
I can't remember a time I've played golf since watching that movie that at some point during the 18 holes, nobody has said, "Hey, I'm going to Happy Gilmore
Yeah.
this."
It's usually Nick, and he usually throws something out.
And how many lines can you quote from that movie, too?
I mean, Bob Barker.
The price is wrong, bitch.
What else do
I
you
mean,
want?
it's essentially
Get in your
it's
home.
getting to the point where people quote Happy Gilmore more than Caddyshack, and it used to be Caddyshack that was what's getting quoted on.
Exactly.
Most of those people have passed away, so.
That movie's like 40 years old.
It's a lot.
Also, Shooter McGavin, the
Yeah.
best sports villain ever. Shooter.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Andrew McDonald, yeah, perfectly cast every time.
I would say that Drago is more of a sports villain than that from Rocky 4.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren,
he's
sure,
an
yeah.
amazing sports villain.
Dolph Lundgren is the perfect sports villain as far as menacing, you know,
If he dies,
and
he dies.
intimidation
He's
wise.
not a man. He's a
Nice.
bar of iron.
I'd have to agree though that
I must destroy you.
I'm gonna. Okay.
you what?
Now you'll find out when it gets to my next pick.
Oh God, I'm a little worried.
Hey, Neil, you're up.
All right, so for my third pick, I'm gonna go with
Ace
the
Ventura.
classic '96 version of Space Jam.
All
Yeah,
right.
baby,
Solid
It's a
pick.
Space
Love that.
Jam.
that's real solid.
It's your chance to romance with
I mean,
the
if you
Space
thought
Jam.
that I was gonna go through a Mount Rushmore and not throw up a film that's got Bill Murray in it, I mean,
Didn't
what
you
are we
already put
doing here?
Caddyshack up?
What are we
I did
doing?
not put Caddyshack up.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Caddyshack is still available.
It is
Yeah.
still
It's
available.
still
on the
floating
board.
up there.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, Michael Jordan did a great crossover from playing sports into a film. It was entertaining for sure for both
A
adults
role
and
he was
kids.
born to play.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got Wayne Knight. It's got Larry Bird. I mean, what else you want?
Who would have
Charles
thought?
Barkley's in it, I think.
Yep,
Charles
yeah.
Barkley is 100%
Muggsy
in it.
Bogues,
Yeah.
Larry Johnson plays a little bit, you know, a little Sean Bradley.
Yeah. Who would have thought such a famous baseballer would be such a great basketball player in a movie?
You made
Nobody.
a golfer.
Who would have thought?
I mean, when you get to like,
The whole thing is because of golf. It's a golf movie.
yeah, well,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a
Because if
Christmas
you
movie,
take the
don't you
golf
know?
out of it, it doesn't happen.
I mean, I would say like seriously, probably Michael Jordan's maybe the best competitor ever. Like,
Yeah,
You
you could
know.
definitely make a
Yeah.
solid argument for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I would agree.
okay,
Yeah.
In this
Okay.
movie, competitor, yes.
yes,
Yeah. No, Neil. Yeah, that's a solid pick. man,
solid
yeah.
pick.
Definitely helped with
Solid pick.
lots of people playing more basketball. What's your next one?
Let's see. We're coming down to the wire.
We are.
here. I'm gonna have to go. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go back to back Bill Murray's and go Kingpin.
Okay. Farley Brothers. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Would you say
I mean-
would you say the Kingpin is a better bowling movie than the Dude?
Big Lebowski is
Big
not a
Lebowski.
bowling
Lebowski.
movie. It's not a bowling movie.
They just happen to be in a bowling alley every once in a while.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
Okay, Kingpin.
Why? And give us a little rundown there on Kingpin, Neil.
The bowler who had his career cut off because his hand got cut off because he didn't want to pay his back mob money. I can't remember exactly, but he has to go back out there and try to make a name for himself against Bill Murray, who is Ernie McCracken.
Mm-hmm.
They should tie in that one-handed bowler with the one-handed golfer guy from that Adam Sandler golf film.
Carl Weathers, the guy.
Gah!
Who was also in Rocky?
Yeah, who's also. Oh, it's all coming back around. It's all coming back around. Oh yeah, what was his name? Not Tubbs, but
Chubbs.
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 Yeah,
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, Chubbs.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going to dedicate my game today.
No, don't you do it. You
No,
son of a
you,
I was
man.
dedicated to
No,
Chubbs.
shooter. I'm dedicating my game to Chubbs.
No, you're not.
See, Gary, everybody
First.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, Gary.
yeah. It is a popular movie. That must make it good.
What about you, John? What's number 4?
God, Gary, you're going to hate me, man.
Then don't do it. You don't have to do
You don't have to
this.
torture Gary
So-
like this, dog.
I'm sorry. These are just how I build my Mount Rushmores when it's like a draft thing. Because you got to remember, some of these picks have been taken off. You don't know if Tin Cup was not number 5 here. And I had to go audible.
Okay.
Okay.
Omaha.
So sports movies, we know we got the we've got the football sports movies. We've got the basketball. We've got the baseball. We've got the hockey. We've Olympics. We've, even wrestling, high school wrestling with Mythic Quest, or not Mythic. What is it?
Which one?
High school. I'll come back to it. Okay, I'll come back. I'll look it up. It's got the guy from Stranger Things in it, but a young Matthew. I think it's Matthew Morrison or Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Vision Quest.
Okay. I don't think I've heard of that one.
Anyway, sports movie has their formula they follow. So for me, it's like, oh, this is what happens when a film puts a sport on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Dodgeball, is that what I'm hearing?
Or
Okay,
basketball.
exactly what you're hearing.
Yep.
Dodgeball.
If you can
We're going
dodge
to
a
just-
wrench, you can dodge a ball. I mean, I think that's going to be on Mount Rushmore.
The impact, though, like if you're talking actual impact, we all came together and played a league, and so many other people
years.
started playing leagues, and it continued in everything to it. It's quoted a lot. Gary, that's the one that everyone you dodge a wrench, you dodge a ball, everything to it. It was, as to go, Johnny, the great equalizer, because it was all just throwing and dodging. That's everything to it.
Someone tested positive for
dodgeball.
testosterone and a low-grade
Amen.
beaver tranquilizer. God
I
damn
mean,
it,
of all the
Bernice.
movies we have on here, with the exception of like Rudy, it is like the most underdog. Like you're rooting for the real underdog here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
True. Gary, how about you, man?
I'm
What's
going
on
to throw
the
out another golf film.
Oh.
This one is The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Really?
Which
film.
it's definitely a drama. I would say it's got Will Smith in it, and Jack Lemmon's in it as well, and a couple other people whose names escape me right now. But
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. But if you keep the camera rolling, no. But yeah, so like, and it's just a great story about a golfer who like has this like really phenomenal caddy that like guides him in life, and then like it's got a really exciting ending because he's in this big golf tournament, and he's with Bobby Jones, who's the like probably greatest golfer of all time, and or at least the most winningest, and then like so it's a like. It's a really great movie. I highly recommend it if you want to watch a really well-made sports movie. Like you could contrast it with Billy Madison. Not Billy Madison, the other one. Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Oh, yeah.
Am I having a
it's
stroke?
absolutely great. You also have Charlize Theron in it. So like
Yeah,
you
I
have
mean, yeah,
that Matt Damon, Will Smith, Charlize Theron, you have your like stellar cast there.
Yeah.
2 out of the 3 Oscar winners, 2 out of 3 can attend the Oscars. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oscar winners for acting. Matt Damon got it for writing.
That doesn't count. Just kidding.
What absolutely counts? Get the hell out of here, Gary. Seriously, leave right now.
Get out of your own house.
Get out of your house.
Walk.
No.
I'd say for mine, number 4, it just it holds a special place in my heart. Always going to. I watch it at least once a year. Cool Runnings has to be mine. Love the late John Candy. R.I.P. there. Just
that is one of those films where it's like, hey, we're rooting for the underdog, and they failed. Like,
yeah,
they did not win.
Yep, but they still got there, and they got better, and they kept going back, and they kept fighting, and they earned the respect of all the competitors that they didn't have that respect when they initially got there. Love stories like that, and it just the comedy in it was well written. Really enjoyed the timing with everybody. I wish, God, I don't know any of the actors' names outside of John Candy, unfortunately. But
yeah, I think they were all like either unknowns at the time.
Yeah. And speaking of unknowns, for my 5th and final one, He Got Game. Probably be it's
What?
next to White Man Can't Jump is my favorite basketball movie. So pretty damn good. Anyways,
who's in it? I've never heard of this.
Spike Lee's. It's Denzel Washington and Ray Allen. It's like the only time he's ever done anything. Came out around the same time that like Blue Chips came out, and I think what other, I don't know, another 90s basketball movie. Anyways, yeah. So basically, Ray Allen is he's the top prospect in the country, and his father's in jail, and I think it was the governor or something is an alumni of this college that wants his son to be recruited to their school, so they somehow get him out of jail for a week, and they're like, go talk to your son and convince him to come play for us, and we'll help, I don't know, it's like reduce your sentence or get you on parole or something like that. Yeah, anyways, so fantastic film. Yeah.
Okay.
Neil, why does that surprise you so much? Have you never heard of it, or have you seen it and you didn't like it?
You said He's Got Game, and for some reason I thought of She's Got Game, which was absolute garbage.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, really? I was like, okay. I was like, I really enjoy He's Got Game. He Got Game. All right. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, honestly, yeah, no, John stole my pick. Thank you, John. White Man Can't Jump. What it was like number 2 on my list. But anyways, Gary, what rounds out your top 5? I'm not salty. It's fine.
That's fine. I think you are a little salty. My 5th is a sport that hasn't been put up on the board yet. And is also a really great movie. I, Tonya, about a ice skater.
Solid pick right there.
It's got Margot Robbie in it, who's an actress that was in other things, including the Birds of Prey movies, and
Wolf of Wall Street. And it's also got the guy who was Bucky in Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
And basically, it's about Tonya Harding and how she got caught up in breaking a leg. And it's just really well acted. I think clearly Allison Janney steals the show in that. She is phenomenal as Tonya Harding's mother. And it's a funny
Oscar, I believe.
Yeah, and well deservedly so. Yeah, it's just a really great movie. It's fun. It's enjoyable to watch, and it looks really pretty too. So like, I mean, just the cinematography in it, like when she's jumping and doing that little twirly spin thing. So that's going to be my 5th choice.
Nice. You ran that. I like that. Like how you ran that out.
Thank you,
John. How about you? Last but not least on your list.
This is hard.
I know. It's tough. Believe me, we're
not even to the hard part yet.
Our sitcom episode.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
that one.
I won't pick one that, because I feel like if I do one more, Gary's going to just like wring my neck through the screen. I'm going to go with Glory Road.
Okay.
Basketball film.
Yeah.
A college basketball film talks about the Texas Western basketball team who ended up winning the national championship. But the big thing about them is they were the first program to start 5 black players in the national championship lineup. And the team was also a monster. The coach came from teaching women's basketball to Texas Western and then ended up taking them. John Lucas plays the coach. Just a good, fun film. Highly recommend watching it. It's kind of got like the same... It's like the cousin of Remember the Titans. It's not as good as Remember the Titans, but it's still equally as you feel satisfied.
It's impactful for sure
to watch. Yeah, it's impactful for sure. John Lucas does a really good job. This is where I started enjoying his films and started enjoying anytime he popped up in a rom-com. It was sold me.
Yeah,
but this is the movie why.
If you're a fan of just, I don't know, if you're interested in sports history, some people, that's another subgenre. They enjoy sport, that's a really good one. It teaches you about the beginning, the early days of college basketball, the powerhouse of that Kentucky was, and, you learn about Adolph Rupp.
Money as well.
And yeah, exactly. And, the
money they had
treatment
compared to Texas Western, which was UTEP now.
Yeah. Go Miners. You're like, yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Why not? Neil, how about you, man? What rounds out your top 5?
I mean, it's a tough one. I think before I give my final pick, we should throw out some pretty big honorable mentions that we didn't throw up on the big board. I'm surprised no one picked the Bad News Bears from 1976.
Yep, Bad News. Caddyshack. No one picked Caddyshack as a.
Well, spoiler alert. Welcome to my 5th pick. Anyway, thanks, John. But yeah, nobody put Raging Bull. Nobody put Bull Durham. These are all fairly fairly classic sports cinema.
Rookie of the Year.
But yeah, anyway, thanks, Jon Esquivel, for my 5th pick would be Caddyshack. We're going to put that one up there.
Oh, man, that would have been so exciting to be revealed.
It would have been exciting after I revealed it, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. It's fine.
Oh,
all right, Caddyshack.
I mean, you could say Caddyshack too. That's still on the board.
We already said that was in the worst films.
Yeah, if he put Caddyshack 2 up, that would be surprising. So, yeah.
Yes, Caddyshack 2, I heard it was terrible. Never saw it myself. But
no one said Hoosiers.
Hoosiers.
Yeah, no one did say good. Hoosiers. That's true.
I mean, we got we didn't get the replacements.
I'm surprised. Why didn't you have the replacements?
Or Mr. 3000.
The Blindside. Mr. 3000. Blindside, yes. That would be another one that I had up there as an honorable mention.
John lost it.
That should, well,
because
we could
I've
do that.
Seen that movie. That's the thing is I've seen the movie. It's not like I can make fun of that title.
Yeah,
I've watched that movie from start to finish.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I mean, it's Bernie Mac, so no.
It's Bernie Mac.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's just whatever.
Who else is it? Who plays the?
All right. Well, if you want a rundown of everyone's list, let's see.
Here we go.
I got Jon Esquivel. He's got Rocky 1, not the whole series. White Man Can't Jump, Happy Gilmore, Dodgeball, and Glory Road. Gary led us off with League of Their Own, Field of Dreams, Tin Cup, Legend of Bagger Vance, and I, Tonya. Johnny threw out Sandlot, Rudy, Remember the Titans, Cool Runnings, and He's Got Game. And I rounded it out with Angels in the Outfield, Hardball, Space Jam, Kingpin, and Caddyshack.
All right.
Okay. So here we go. Our collective Mount Rushmore +1. For those of you that aren't familiar with that, and just so we can kind of get John up to speed here, now we have to collectively come up with a Mount Rushmore +1 all together. You can suggest any movie you want. Doesn't even have to be from your own list, but we all have to agree on it. If one person says no, then we can throw it to the maybe pile, and you can plead your case for sure. Debate it. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. This one can either go really quickly or it can take quite some time.
Okay.
So let's.
Who wants to throw out a suggestion?
I was about to say, who wants to go?
Out Rocky.
I'm fine with Rocky.
You're not going to get any argument from me on that one. That's best boxing movie forever for sure. Neil.
But it's in Philadelphia.
Neil Caesar Riley. Take that back.
Rocky is 100%.
All right. Rocky Balboa is up on the big rock. I don't know.
Yeah, it's up. He's up. He's up on the big board.
Got some. Get the carving.
I don't know. Why are we speaking like this? I don't understand. What's
got some Borglum. He was the guy that carved Mount Rushmore. Learn your history, guys.
Nerd. Just kidding, Gary. That's
all right.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Number 1 up on the board, Rocky.
All right, Rocky's up. Love that.
5.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
As long as we get a Rocky Balboa up there, then we're good.
Oh God.
And Creed 3. Which I hear was pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't seen it yet.
How do people feel about Remember the Titans?
I feel very good about Remember the Titans.
I think Johnny feels very, very good about that.
Real good.
Yeah.
About Remember the Titans. No, I really do though.
Gary, how do you feel about Remember the Titans?
Well, I would have gone with The Replacements as my football film, but
really,
that's great.
Replacements is fun.
Yeah, that wasn't put up there, so I think Remember the Titans would get a yes vote from me.
Okay, I think it's one of the all-time classics in general. It's a solid film across the board. Even if you don't like football, honestly.
Yeah, no, it does a great range of emotions from like happy and comical to like very dramatic and sad. So it's a great movie, well acted. Yeah,
it gets all the check marks. That's for sure. How about you guys?
Neil, before you vote, to like seal the deal, may I stir the pot just a little bit?
I'd love you to stir the pot, John.
Why are you doing this?
Why would you do this?
Why?
I don't like change. I don't like change, John. I don't like change, dude.
So here's the thing. So let's say Neil says yes, and we lock it. Great. So we got Rocky up there, and we got Remember the Titans.
Oh, shit. Get my charger.
Can you put another football movie up there, i.e. Rudy? Are you locking Remember the Titans over Rudy? That's more so what I want to know. Or do they both go on Mount Rushmore? Because I think that's where, if someone looked at it and they're like, Remember the Titans, well, what about Rudy? That's my question. Neil, the floor is yours.
I understand what you're doing, John, and I appreciate it. There's definitely room for 2 football movies in Mount Rushmore if it goes that way. There's also no need to put a football movie in there if it doesn't go that way. We've done it before where we've gone too fast for like 1, 2, and 3, and we've locked ourselves in and committed, and then we kind of regret it towards the end.
Throw this bitch in the maybe. Do it, Neil.
I am good with Remember the Titans in the maybe pile.
Neil. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Agent of Chaos.
All right. I'm going to throw out I, Tonya. I think it's like the only ice skating movie I can think of.
Blades of Glory? Are you kidding me?
Okay, I guess there's 2.
Come on, somebody.
But, it's also, I think, like a really great movie. Like, I mean, it's enjoyable to watch. I think it got at least 2 Academy Awards out of it, maybe more. And
I just recall the best support, and I don't think it won a screenplay or anything.
Yeah, I don't think it did anything as far as like film.
Yeah,
didn't it get
just the
special effects? Maybe not.
Like makeup
or cinematography.
More so for me, it's like
it might have been makeup and hairstyling, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched I, Tonya for Alice and Janney, not for the ice skating.
So I, Tonya won 1 Oscar, and it was for best performance as a supporting
actress.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Right. I agree with you. It's a solid film, man. But when I just think of greatest sports films of all time, it doesn't.
Okay.
Can't see it popping into my head, even though it's a movie I would watch multiple times.
Okay.
That's just me.
So are you voting no, or are you saying maybe?
I'm saying maybe we could put it in the maybe pile. I'm not saying completely no, but I think we should explore other options first.
Okay. And John, were you a maybe or a no?
I was a no. I think people would think I, Tonya as, let's see, some of the best supporting actress performances before they're like, let's see I, Tonya for the sports movie. I think it'll be remembered as a great drama that happens to deal into sports. That's where you get into, well, is it a sports movie? Yes.
Okay.
I would say though, the story of the sport, it's more about the person who happened to be a figure skater than her journey as a figure skater, because we learn more about why she was known as, I mean, people knew her, Tonya Harding, because of figure skating, but what made her immortal is what she did. And so that's why people were like, the film is like, how did she become that? Rather than them talking about her nailing the triple axel in this competition or something to it.
Sure.
Instead of the story revolving around that, it revolved around more about the psychology of the person in a sense. So that's why I would put it as a no. But I'm also like down to put it as a maybe. I just figured since Johnny did maybe, I'd mix it up a bit and put it as a no.
Okay, let's
Throw some spice into there.
Hey, baby. Hey, it's good. It's good radio, baby. Good radio.
Season the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a yes for me. Did I not make that clear?
Oh.
John, I'm glad we were here to witness your last episode ever.
Yes.
With us. So congrats.
It's okay. Tom's
your way
had
off
like
the
3
show.
last episodes, so
I say that to everybody who comes on.
it's true.
This is why people don't want to continue to be guests on the show. Yeah. We're very hostile as a group.
We are a very angry group.
We
Yes.
are, indeed.
All right. Who hasn't had a pick yet?
Let's see. I'm looking at the list right now.
I mean, I would throw out as a feel-good, very classic movie, Angels in the Outfield, up for debate.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Go ahead and defend that one, Neil.
I feel like it defends itself. I think it has a very, very great cast, a young cast that all of them went on to do bigger and better projects. It's a very feel-good story about two orphans living in an orphanage. The one is praying that the Angels win the pennant because his dad said if they win the pennant, he's going to come back and take him away. And they end up not winning, or no, they end up winning, but the dad still doesn't take them. It kind of tugs at your heartstrings, but it's definitely a good, coming of age kind of story for him.
Mm-hmm.
You watch the underdog team grow from worst in the league all the way up through winning the pennant. And I mean, Christopher Lloyd. What else do you want?
Okay, would you? I guess
Can I jump in with Neil. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, John. What you got?
Just to defend with Neil, I would say if we were recording this podcast 13 years ago, 2010, even 2009, it would be hard to defend Neil. But between 2010 and now, that movie aged beautifully because of Matthew McConaughey, the internet's love for Danny Glover, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and then obviously Christopher Lloyd is just timeless. So of course he took on the internet and everything in 2020s. So that's why I gotta agree. Like, that movie unexpectedly aged really well. We all loved it. The people who saw it VHS and everything to it. But I think it's the unexpected that the culture that we live in now, internet being a huge part of it, meme, everything to it, that movie really did hold a lot more weight than I expected.
That may be
I can't believe it's Tona Danza. I can't believe that. That's what's getting me.
Yeah, I forgot it was him too.
That may be the strangest defense of a movie I've ever heard, that it aged well. Okay.
Unexpectedly, I would never have thought Angels in the Outfield would have aged so well.
Adrian Brody was in it too?
Yeah, that's what I was seeing on the
It's got like
cast list.
6 Oscar winners in it.
They all love this script. They all needed money.
I'm just saying.
It's a good one. It's just kind of like, man, I mean, part of me kind of wants to give every sport a representation in the top 5 kind of thing. And I'm like, I think personally, baseball wise, A League of Their Own is a stronger baseball film, but that's for me. Mm-hmm. But God, man, I mean, Angels in the Outfield. I mean, I watched that repeatedly as a kid.
I agree on that as well. It's just, I love that Angels in the Outfield is up here.
Well,
I think it 100% does. It's like that. It's that underdog team that makes the Final Four, where it's like, God, if they could win that, like FAU today, if they could win that game, that'd be awesome, because then they could win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But history just shows like, no, they just don't. And I think this might be one of those, because it would be blasphemous of me to put it above A League of Their Own and Field of Dreams. That's the hard part for baseball.
Yeah, I'm going to have to throw out a no on that to make your decision easier, Jonny.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it, though.
It's a solid pick, though. That's a real solid pick. I really like that one.
Also, John, a lot of what we do is like revenge voting. So like, so expect that to happen.
No, let's okay.
Go ahead and throw out
Gary. Yes, Gary. You tell me the truth.
Do me a favor, throw out Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Gary. Don't do it, Gary.
Whatever he threw out, he's going to say no to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's not the first time.
Throw out basketball.
Won't be the last.
He throws out Happy Gilmore just to like
just to fuck with him.
Nobody has a equestrian movie.
Bait him.
All right. Angels of the Outfield shot down.
Oh man.
I'm going to put out Dodgeball. Neil, you want to vote no on that one?
No, I don't. It's
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it for you. I love this movie. It's a no. That's a no for me.
Who invited John?
Yes, I can tell you what. I think
you did.
It's a great.
Damn it.
You did, Mr. Cheezel.
I think.
Oh yeah, Dante.
So if I'm thinking of like, okay, what is this movie? Because like when I think about Rushmore, it's like, okay, like it's going above different types of movies. And so for this one, I'm like, okay, sports movie, comedy. So now I'm putting it against other sports movies that are funny, comedy to it. And the ones that I think of, if I'm thinking of that Final Four, or the ones I've thrown out, I threw out White Men Can't Jump. I threw out Happy Gilmore, and I threw out Caddyshack. Dodgeball against those 3, I could make an argument that it could go against Happy Gilmore. That could be a really fun debate of which one really is better between it on the comedy and all that. It's really difficult to go against Caddyshack because of what you said, Neil, Rodney Dangerfield. Because not only do you have a great movie, you have an unbelievable just comedian that's amazing and, legendary. And then with White Men Can't Jump, at the same time, you have a hilarious story and script into that. So for me, that's why it's Dodgeball's a no. It's like I can't put it above those two.
I mean, I was gonna probably lean towards no anyway. I just wanted to hear your reasoning.
Sneaky.
You could have convinced me, Gary. I think that Dodgeball was. I mean, John, you talked about movies that were making some type of social impact. I mean,
yeah.
You even mentioned it yourself. I mean, like we were doing it, and it wasn't even just across the country. It was in Europe and stuff too. I mean, there were tons of articles about that happening.
I mean, it is a true underdog story.
Yeah. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
I don't know if you've ever seen $50,000.
But yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw White Men Can't Jump up there. I think as far as basketball films, that's up there with Hoosiers, and it's up there with even for the nostalgia factor with Space Jam. I would absolutely consider that too. But I think it's, as John mentioned earlier, just the writing in general. It's the same thing. It stands by itself too. It doesn't even necessarily... I mean, it still needs the basketball for sure. I mean, they brought in Bill Lanier, who was a star with the Nuggets and the Pistons back in the kind of like 70s through the early 90s. And, he choreographed the entire thing. And he actually said that Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson got to Division II level collegiate basketball level. So just how they trained, and you can see that, I mean, it's not just the actors coming in and playing for a couple of shots. Like, they didn't use stunt doubles for the most part. They were playing all of those games. Right. They were making those trick passes. And I just appreciate stuff like that, when it's really authentic, and I love that. So I don't know. I would, that's why I would put White Men Can't Jump up there.
Okay.
Leave it up to the panel.
So, Jonny, you seem to be really into this idea of wanting all sports represented in the Mount Rushmore.
It doesn't have to be necessarily, but
so White Man Can't Jump, though. You put that up against Glory Road.
I think it's better than Glory Road for sure. Yes,
I would agree with that. I think with White Men Can't Jump, it's also because it's pickup ball.
Yes.
And so many of us have played, or people who have enjoyed basketball, not everyone has gotten a chance to play as far as an organized team for high school, college,
NBA,
professional, anything to that. But pickup, like, it shows that because I think there was like a funny trend of people talking about it, but like people play pickup and these games run and they are organized, but it's like, it stays organized, and there's no one enforcing these rules. There's no one enforcing, oh yeah, you did have next or everything to it. It just runs. And it's interesting with White Man Can't Jump, is they are able to kind of capture that, like, you going out playing pickup, what that looks like, the people who are serious about playing pickup, the people who are just casual onto it. Yeah. I'd say the only, like, if you're looking at representation, the only one that I would say White Men Can't Jump that you got to talk about is Hoosiers for basketball. That's the one that I'd be like, but I have to put it as a maybe. Is Mount Rushmore 5 or 4?
5. Mount Rushmore plus 1 it's our top 5.
Because I would say, like, it would easily fall into my plus 1. It's hard to throw up there just yet. I need to put it as a maybe, because I need to make sure I don't put it and block out something that it's hard.
Okay, fair enough. Gary, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say no on that. I think Space Jam is going to get my basketball vote.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen White Man Can't Jump?
Many years ago, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
On the same token, when was the last time you saw Space Jam?
Many years ago.
A couple years.
And it still resonates with you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't remember any lines from White Men Can't Jump.
Fair enough. Neil, how about you?
And you remember Welcome to the Space Jam.
Yeah. Welcome to
Everybody
the Space
remembers Jessica
Jam.
Rabbit.
How about you, Neil?
I think it's time we go ahead and just debate Caddyshack in the top 5.
I'm going to have to say that's a yes, and I think that's really hard to debate out of the top 5.
Because it's a yes for me, because I do love it. It's classic, like for all the reasons we listed before. But I have a feeling Gary is going to say no, because he's going to lean more towards Sin Cup.
I mean, they'd all be golf movies if I had my druthers, but you know.
I mean, yes,
yeah.
Johnny, your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, personally, I like Happy Gilmore more. Honestly, I always have. I grew up on it. I didn't see Caddyshack until I was probably in my 20s, I think. You could convince me on it, probably. I mean, it's not an immediate. It would be more of a maybe for me. You know, I mean, it's classic Chevy Chase and Bill Murray, Rodney Dangerfield. You know, it's a great cast.
Gary, thoughts?
Well, they blow up a golf course at the end and really ruin it, and that gopher
Chase a gopher everywhere.
Yeah, it looks really fake. And yes, of course, Caddyshack. Yes, are you kidding me? It's a great film. Absolutely,
it's a funny fucking movie. I mean,
yes.
So I got 3 yeses and a maybe for Caddyshack, right?
Yes.
I think we could convince Johnny. I think you could convince him onto that.
I think you could,
because like
you know,
I threw
someone
Happy
convince,
Gilmore
you know,
there. Happy
twist
Gilmore
my
doesn't
arm.
happen if Caddyshack's not there.
Gary, you're in the room. Just go ahead and slap Johnny.
Wrong direction.
Weird, delayed, wrong direction.
Made you feel awkward, didn't
Cut
it?
and print.
So
Real strange. Yeah, real strange. We don't want to feel like that anymore. Yeah, someone twist my arm here.
I mean, Caddyshack,
Why?
like it's like just a phenomenally paced movie. It has a lot to do with the sport of golf. So, like, I think one of the issues with I, Tonya was it wasn't really much about figure skating as it was other stuff. So I think Caddyshack definitely, yeah. It like is culturally super impactful. Like everybody like knows Caddyshack. Like
no.
it's in the whole like
I got that going for
Yeah.
me, which is nice.
I mean, the comedy in it still holds up after 43 years. When it came out in 80, didn't it?
80 something, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 80 something.
Yeah, when we were just young kids, it came out. And
Born? I don't know what part of the 80s it came out, but
then it's got it's a phenomenal movie. And the good guys win in the end at a nail biter.
yeah, they do.
Let me tell you.
All right. Gary, you convinced me. Let's do it. Caddyshack, you're up.
All right.
Congratulations.
On the big board.
All right. So what do we got up there right now? We got Caddyshack, Rocky.
and Caddyshack. That is
Okay.
it.
And Remember the Titans, we didn't. It was a maybe.
Remember the Titans and White Man Can't Jump are on the maybe pile.
Maybe pile. Gotcha. Okay.
All right, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm typing this out to you just so I have it in front of me. Let's see.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's throw it out here. The Sandlot.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. I'm gonna be a hard yes on that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say absolutely. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Absolutely.
Neil?
Neil.
So y'all put Sandlot over Field of Dreams, League of Their Own.
I'd put I'd actually put A League of Their Own above the Sandlot for me, but
Really? I would put Sandlot above.
Like
Sandlot was
great.
just-
It's a great coming of age, him coming to a new town, growing up in that summer, and then
play ball like a
at
girl.
the end, seeing his
Moors.
friend play pro.
Forever.
Yeah. When they get the tobacco and they're puking it on each other. I mean,
Outside of Play Ball Like a Girl and him pissing and Madonna, tell me else about League of Their Own. Tell me.
I mean, I don't know who you're talking
What do you mean? Who are you?
I don't know. Somebody, anybody.
Anybody tell you another scene or
I just can't remember. Like, what was the line? When it's like, "Of course they traded me and not you."
Yeah, outside of there's no credit basement. Yeah,
I mean, I do like
From The Sandlot.
And then,
Say that again.
Say what?
Like, if you think this, how many scenes? So you think of League of Their Own, a couple scenes come up, but when
Sure.
you think of The Sandlot, how many scenes come through?
I'd say probably
Rewatchability. What can you rewatch more? You think?
I honestly could rewatch both of them the same amount. I probably honestly rewatch A League of Their Own nowadays. But as a kid, I watched The Sandlot, probably 50 to 100 something times.
it's tough. Is this our third Mount Rushmore pick?
Yes.
Would be, yeah. Potentially.
Well,
So I'm going to say of Sandlot, Field of Dreams, and League of Their Own, Field of Dreams is my number 3. So to me, it's between Sandlot and League of Their Own if we wanted a baseball representation on the Mount Rushmore.
I mean, to me, like Sandlot, I think edges out League of Their Own because Sandlot's about like just a bunch of kids that are like play. Like to me, that's like what the sport of baseball is. It's just like we're gonna get some sticks and play ball.
Surprises the hell out of me. Okay,
and like
so are you saying Sandlot, Gary?
I think I would give it to Sandlot more.
Okay, I'm gonna say no, Gary. I'm gonna say no.
Me too, Gary. Fuck you, man.
John, aren't you having so much fun here? Are we having a great time?
Thanks for joining us, John. Thanks so much. Thanks for coming out, dude.
I vote for Sandlot.
I changed my vote to no.
Fine, go ahead.
No,
All right.
I'm still
Sandlot, John, yes?
That's a yes. That's a yes.
Gary,
for me,
Sandlot?
easily.
Yes.
It's a yes for me. What about you, John? Johnny?
I mean, yeah,
we don't have to only have one baseball field.
We don't, but you know what? I mean, just based off the nostalgia factor, based off my childhood growing up. Let's do it.
All right, Sandlot on the board.
Bring it home,
Rocky,
James Earl Jones.
Okay. I'm going to throw out Remember the Titans. Did we already do that one?
Yeah, it's on the maybe pile.
And I still say that should be up there. Just saying.
I think you threw it down, Gary. You spiked the ball.
Dang it. I wish I knew more football terms. I could make a joke. I
did volleyball there.
Sorry.
Bump it, set it, spike it. That's the way we like it.
Need a wide body in the paint.
Gary, don't you start with me. Don't you start with me, Frazier. Don't you start with me, Kelsey Grammer. You son of a bitch.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Then I'm going to put out The Legend of Bagger Vance. It's another golf film.
Yeah, I'm going to immediately say...
You're going to say no on that? You're going to say
I'm going to say no. I'm saying it's great. It's a great film, but as far as like going up there...
Yeah, but I'm saying no.
It makes it to the Sweet 16.
Okay.
That's a good Sweet 16
March Madness
appearance.
reference, I know.
Yeah.
Because Johnny never shuts up about basketball in March.
All right,
that's true, Gary. Sorry about that.
Out one that wasn't said, and this might be voted down quickly, but I just...
Is it Remember the Titans?
Are you going to say Seabiscuit?
No, but that's a great one. It's a great one.
Is it Joanna Man?
No, it's not Joanna. Little Giants.
Oh my
that was
God!
on my list of
what?
maybes.
Yes.
Okay.
Fumblerooski. The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Or Ed O'Neill, not Ed Harris.
Ed O'Neill. Yeah. That would be a very, very different film.
Was Rick Moranis the coach in that?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
And then Ed O'Neill was the other one.
Yeah.
Al Bundy.
They were brothers.
Yeah. We're just casting on that one, but
do we?
I mean, it's a great film for sure.
I guess so is Twins too. I mean,
yeah,
Danny DeVito and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I
love Little Giants, man. Man, I love Little Giants.
I would say
was another one that I used to really love as a kid.
Seems like it curveball you because it feels like the nostalgia is tugging on those heartstrings.
It is very hard, man. Jeez.
Because it's like, is that a sports film? Is that what it means to be a sports film? Into that type of, that's the, we're not athletic, we're not the best, but can we still have fun? Can we still go compete and have the dream of winning the big game?
Would I put it over Remember the Titans? That's the question.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. Yeah.
No, I couldn't.
I mean, Remember the Titans to me is so much more of a quintessential football film.
Yeah. It's so cute and so
I
earnest in its approach, but
it's
what?
May I go back to back?
Yeah, throw out another one.
Be our guest,
Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
That's the thing. I didn't put that up because
show me the money.
I mean, is it a sports film?
Is it romance?
That's the thing, I mean, is it? I say it's another for another day. That's another for another day.
You had me at
hello. You had me at shut up. Literally, you had me right there.
I mean, Jerry Maguire to me is kind of like why I also wouldn't pick Moneyball as one, because
it's more of a drama than.
Well, it's not so much about like the actual like sport as it is about the stuff,
the relationships, about the people behind it. I see what you mean. Yeah, so it's like Ted Lasso. I've been rewatching a lot of that here because season 3 is out right now, and I mean, it's obviously it's a sports show, I mean, soccer, but the majority of the show nowadays revolves really around the relationships behind the scenes.
It's like the TV show Coach. Like,
sure,
as far as
sitcoms go, that's. I do love Jerry Maguire.
The Water Boy.
I do love The Water Boy.
I know,
but no.
What about let's get some bowling representation. What about Kingpin?
No, I couldn't throw Kingpin up there. As great of a film as it is. No.
Jonny has earned himself one spite. No.
There's no spite. No. Oh, Gary, stop trying to start shit.
That's what Neil just
There's nothing
said.
here. There's nothing but love between me and my Papa Neil. Neil knows. He's just embarrassed to talk about it.
I'm just throwing things out now. So what about Hardball?
I want to put that in the maybe, especially because it's 5.
I could do a maybe, yeah.
Okay, I'll put Hardball in the maybe.
What about Air Bud?
You want to talk about the first movie that made me cry in an actual theater? Ball like a damn baby.
I'm a rapid fire, you guys. The Mighty Ducks.
Ooh, D2. Give me D2. Come on. The Bash Brothers.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
Semi-pro.
No.
What just happened?
Okay.
I think I got an erection.
Talladega Nights.
I mean, if you're going to do racing, then you have to do Days of Thunder before Talladega Nights.
I would take Days of Thunder. I would take Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
Let's throw Days of Thunder up there.
I'm a yes on Days of Thunder.
Yeah, Robert Duvall. Come on.
Tom Cruise.
It also had what's his name from Talladega Nights in it.
Not John C. Reilly, but
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. That's right. He was much younger. That was around Perfect Storm time.
It's great because it's about a young, hot-headed guy, the Tom Cruise character, who learns how to like control himself on the field, where he's like driving better by his mentor. So you've got kind of like that mentor Padawan relationship going on.
Oh, Gary. Randy Quaid.
Yeah. 500 laps your way.
So right now, Neil, you've got written down. We've got Rocky, Caddyshack, and The Sandlot, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So is Days of Thunder something you would put in the tier of those 3 movies?
I would definitely put it up there, especially if we want to have a racing inclusion in here. Days of Thunder is a classic movie. I really enjoyed it indeed when I was a kid. Oh my God, Carrie Lewis was in there.
Oof. What do you think, John?
It's compelling. It haunts me.
So tough. It's so hard. It's so fucking difficult.
I don't know. Because that's a hard one. I want to put it as a maybe but at the same time it's I think it does deserve to be up there.
Yeah. Do we consider racing a sport, like racing a car? That would be my only hiccup.
Sure. I mean, it's.
It's
I
not
feel
what
like that's
you
another.
would go with like conventional sports into that. Like, and if we're talking Mount Rushmore, like it would be up there, and I think people would be like, "Oh, it's up there for representation," rather than because it's the best sports movie. And that's where it's hard for me because I think it leans more on representation. Because I would agree, it's more. I think of it more on drama or than sport. But at the same time, then you have like Invictus, where
or rugby
is in there, but it is 100% a drama.
Sure, absolutely. It's more political, honestly, than anything else. Yeah. So who was
But I
the
can't
one that?
say no.
Who was the one that shot down Remember the Titans? Was that you, Gary?
No,
Who was that?
John and I were both.
Both of you two.
it was
Okay. What would convince you to put Remember the Titans up there? Because I feel like for football, I feel strongly enough about that
You put Remember the Titans over Rudy?
yes. Yes, I would.
That's where I'm at. I would put Remember the Titans over Rudy. I put Remember the Titans in the maybe pile because I wanted to wait to see. I was stirring it because of the Rudy debate. That's where it's like if. But I agree. I think Remember the Titans. I would put. I would put it. Remember the Titans before I put Days of Thunder up there.
I would also agree.
Remember the Titans up there first before Days of Titans.
100% agree with you. Okay.
Remember the Thunder. Days
Remember
of
the
Titans.
Thunder. Yeah, I got your back on that one. I'm in the same boat.
Days of Titans.
I need
Days of Titans.
Days of Titans.
All right. So where we're at right now is we have Rocky, we have Caddyshack, we have Sandlot. Those are on the three. I was with John. Remember the Titans was a maybe because we didn't want to like shoot our wad too early and get locked in. At this point, I'm comfortable putting Remember the Titans up there.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
We all good?
I'm good with it.
I'm very solid with that. I'm very good.
Now just
very
number 5.
comfortable.
Final one. So,
Here we go.
Here we are.
Who's joining?
Space Jam.
Yeah. I'll be a yes on that.
I'm gonna be a no, only because I would say there's I think another one in the maybe pile that I would put above.
Well, which is your one in the maybe pile so we can let you
White
know?
Man Can't Jump.
No, I would honestly.
Mine is White Man Can't Jump.
I'd say Field of Dreams.
I'm good on Field of Dreams too.
That's honestly because, like, I love White Man Can't Jump, but you look at it, Field of Dreams is there as far as like iconic sports movie because there will always be the people who look at sports films will always be like the baseball is. It's hard to leave that out. And I would say Field of Dreams is right there.
I think more people have heard of Space Jam than Field of Dreams, to be quite honest with you. I bet if you asked 100 people,
but
even the old one, even I'm talking the original, I'm not talking about LeBron James.
Yeah. But I would say that
enjoy it because it's terrible.
I would say that Field of Dreams is a better movie than Space Jam.
Well, sure. Yeah, I would agree with you
so
on that.
if we could convince all 4 of us to say Field of Dreams, I would definitely be on board with that.
You're not gonna be able to convince me on that one. I do like Field of Dreams a lot, but it's not even in my top 3 of favorite baseball films.
Okay. All right, 10 Cup. All right, this is a great film. It's got Kevin Costner. He's not been in this list enough.
Should throw up Draft Day. No, totally kidding.
Yeah. So Tin Cup, it's a great movie. It's got comedy, it's fun. The 90s, Johnny, you love movies from the 90s.
I do love movies from the 90s.
It's
that
basically
is very
the
true.
Shawshank Redemption.
What?
No. But yeah, it's a great film. It's got a good character arc for the lead actor who learns self-control and regains his confidence and learns how to learn some humility as well along the way. And it's got a good cast of supporting characters. And it's all practical effects, no CGI.
I do love that.
Ebert loved
I
it.
do. Yeah.
Roger Ebert loved it. He
that.
gave it 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 thumbs.
The dialogue is smart and fresh.
Yeah, I remember enjoying Tin Cup.
Okay. So is that a no?
I want to hear from other people.
Okay.
It's a maybe for me, you know.
All right.
I figured you would say it at one point.
It's like I remember seeing it once, and it wasn't like
Your
it
tin
doesn't
cup of
stand-
tea.
It doesn't stand out to me as like, you know, classic enough to where I would put it over White Man Can't Jump, Field of Dreams.
Well, that's true.
You know, I'd even put maybe He Got Game over it.
Okay. What about?
So I'm good with Tin Cup in the maybe pile.
Okay.
But, I can't pull a trigger on that one.
Okay.
I can't pull a trigger because it's not the best Kevin Costner sports movie we have there.
Okay.
That's.
All right.
I might have to agree with that too.
The replacements.
Oh God,
I can't.
I
Put
love
him,
Keanu Reeves.
I do. Yeah, Gene Hackman, and yeah, and
We're not going to go Hoosiers.
Orlando
So.
Jones. I mean, it's
John Favre or John. Or wait, no, not John. Favreau?
John Favreau. Yeah, Favreau. Yeah, whatever.
Favreau.
However you pronounce it.
The Iron Man director.
There you go. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's a great movie. I mean, there's so many iconic scenes from it, especially the scene with all them in the jail.
In it.
Yeah, Pat Summerall. You know, he was in those booth scenes too for the game. They have that jail scene where they're all doing the choreographed dance to
I Will
Survive. Yeah. You know, it's great stuff. I don't know if I could put it in my top 5 though, above like 10 other quality films. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So another Sweet 16 for Jonny.
It's like round to 32. No, I'm
Just
kidding.
favorite.
It could be a Sweet 16. It could be a Sweet 16.
All right. Would we consider like rock climbing a sport? Because cliffhanger could be.
Cliffhanger hanging from a cliff.
Vertical Horizon.
And
What about the Karate Kid?
Yeah, see, Karate Kid though. That's also that's a sports film.
Is karate
That's
a
a
sports
really
film?
good one.
Sport?
You know? Do you know? Okay, you want to talk about social impact? Do you know
Combat.
how? Do you do you see the percentage of how many people started taking karate and martial arts after that film came out?
I'm
was
not,
insane.
I'm
It
not
was like 40.
questioning Karate Kid's impact. I'm questioning is that a sport? Because it's a martial art.
Yeah, I mean
It's
you're
in the Olympics.
yeah,
It's an Olympic sport.
So's bicycling.
yeah, cycling.
So speed walking.
Cycling actually
Really?
has some really great movies, by
golf.
the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Remember when they had that ESPN Marble Olympics?
yes. Oh my god. On ESPN
Golf a
88.
sport, or are we just hitting things?
Oh, Gary.
Is what?
Is golf a sport, or are we just dressing nice to hit things?
Golf is the ultimate sport and
Gary,
teaches you everything you
them
need to know about
gentlemen,
life.
Those fighting words,
Yeah.
dude. What's up? Jon Esquivel,
Are we sure
coming to
not
play.
croquet isn't the gentleman's sport? Or
Yes.
polo?
Yeah, that's the sport of kings, polo. The
Speaking of kings, what about King Richard?
All right, yeah, you could convince me on King Richard.
I
who's
didn't watch it.
Yeah, King Richard. Yes, really.
Oh, is that an
Really,
actual
John?
movie?
Not out of like protest. I just missed it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I need to
okay.
watch it.
Yeah, you need to check it out, man. Yeah, actually, Neil, I would have agreed with you on that one. That's a pretty good one. Gary, you haven't seen it though, I don't think.
Never heard of it. I thought you were talking about William Shakespeare.
It was the movie about the Williams
But it does
sisters.
have Will I Am.
Oh,
with Will. That was the year that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock
I remember
at the
that.
Oscars and then won
Yeah.
Best Actor.
Yeah. Instead
They
of being
refused to
arrested.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah, I remember that too.
What about Major League?
Nah, Charlie Sheen is.
You love his brother in Mighty
Emilio
Ducks.
Estevez? Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I'd rather have D2 the Mighty Ducks up there. I don't know. I think
I
we've
really
got.
like the Karate Kid going up there. I'm not gonna lie.
I did as
the
well.
fifth.
You might be able to convince me of that
I
one.
really like that.
How about you,
There
Gary?
is
Worm
competition
that
in
land
it.
in there.
There's a tournament in it, so we have competition. There's the storyline of the underdog, which we've talked about.
It's a
in-
sports
to
movie.
Everything.
I mean, if you could convince me that karate was a sport, then like I think. I mean, it's a great movie.
So what
Okay,
are your
so
parameters of sports? 'Cause
karate-
if you
Yeah, what is your-
you
yeah.
even said sports went back towards the Greeks and the Olympians competing. So that
this is one of the oldest forms of competing and fighting.
If we go by Olympics or sports, karate is an Olympic sport as of.
You can medal in it.
So is archery. So we could put Kevin Costner's Robin Hood and get him off.
But he
third.
wasn't.
They weren't competing.
Okay,
they were
so-
just doing archery.
Well, he had to compete against the prince, but that was only for one scene.
I do like the Karate Kid, and I do like it as a movie. I can see Gary's point of if we take the tournament out of the movie, it is still a movie that's not a sports movie.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Still Johnny Russo getting traumatized.
Hey, that's true.
I mean, it's a great movie. That's not my argument at all. My only hiccup is that is it a sports movie?
Did we
and
convince
that's what
you,
I
Gary?
understand.
Yeah.
Did we convince Gary?
I understand
Gary,
that.
that's a question to you, my friend. Did we convince you?
Neil,
Doesn't
did you
sound like
decide
it
on this?
I mean, I'm the one that's
Hang
put
on.
up there, but I can see the argument being made. Like if we take out the entire last quarter of the movie, which is just the tournament, then it's not a sports movie anymore. Like you still have a complete movie, basically, without any sports element.
Because you're saying he's learning a form of self-defense as opposed to he's learning the sport. I mean, I got where you're coming from, but
But I could also say, hey, he did an illegal kick to the head and was still won. So yeah, sure.
Sweep the leg. Yeah. I mean, Karate Kid is a great movie, so I will go with yes on that. I mean, it's in the Olympics.
Is that four yeses for Karate Kid?
indeed.
I believe it is.
Well, then I think we have our Mount Rushmore +1.
All right, Neil, what's our Mount Rushmore +1?
So we have Rocky, Caddyshack, The Sandlot, Remember the Titans, and Karate Kid.
All right.
Okay.
That's a hell of an evening.
A good one.
That
Yeah.
is. I'm confident with that. We could come back to this again with the same or a larger panel, and it would probably be a much different
Yes.
list, actually.
Yeah.
That might change in the next couple of months. Who knows? So really quick before we wrap up for tonight, because we are running out of time here, John, we go ahead and we give one recommendation for our listeners to go ahead and watch for the week, one film or TV show or something like that is preferably related to the topic of the episode. So I'll give you a second to kind of think of something. Neil, let's start with you for this week. What are you recommending for the listeners?
So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and get out your VCR, Blast from the Past, and throw in Angels in the Outfield. Like I said, I thought this was definitely one that possibly could have made it in the Mount Rushmore. It's got an all-star cast that wasn't an all-star cast at the time, but has aged very well. But yeah, that's going to be my pick.
Nice. Gary?
I'm going to say A League of Their Own. I think that is a phenomenal baseball movie, and just it's got very enjoyable performances from Tom Hanks, Jean Green. What's her name?
Gina Davis?
Maybe I am having a stroke.
Gina Davis,
Gina
yeah.
Davis. Madonna's in it.
Rosie O'Donnell,
Rosie O'Donnell. It's a very interesting. John Lovitz is in it too. It's a great movie.
Is he having coffee or?
Cup of coffee.
Very nice. Mine's going to be one this week that we didn't really talk about much. I guess I mentioned once, but I'm going to say go see Champions. It's still probably in theaters for a little bit. Woody Harrelson's newest film about him coaching a basketball team of mentally handicapped folks, and it's just a real feel-good story. It's very well written. Solid appearance from Sweet D Reynolds. Caitlin Olsen there. Good cast. Cheech Marin makes an appearance. That's gonna be my rec for this week. John, how about you? Round us out.
I'm going to round this out with White Man Can Jump, like Neil, another
Yes.
one that could have been up there for the Mount Rushmore.
Sure.
Break out your VHS. It's the 30th anniversary that just happened, I believe, last month.
Oofda.
Great
Yeah.
story about two unlikely pals teaming together around pickup basketball and how they're
Conning everyone.
essentially like their not friendship, but their business deal or like what they decide to, how it benefits one another and how they get entangled in each other's lives, affect it, all revolving around the game of pickup basketball. And you decide if white men can or cannot jump.
It's up to you. They actually have a bet about that in the movie. Tune into the film to see the results.
Spoiler alert, there's a reason that it's called White Men Can't Jump.
Whoa. Hey, come on, John.
He's correct, though. It does not have a question mark at the end of it.
White men can't jump?
Yep. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Fuck you,
at the
San
same
Diego.
time, is it like, oh, wait, but are you saying that title ironically? Let's see.
I guess we'll have to watch and find out. John, thanks so much for joining us, man. Plug your podcast real quick. What's it called again, and where can people catch you?
John's Mostly Movie Podcast. You can catch us on any platform you get your podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. If there's probably, if you use Overcast instead of the Apple Podcast app, all those. Let us know. Twitter is just John_podcast.
Nice, man. And we'll go ahead and we'll get some posts and links set up there in the bios. Thanks again so much for joining us, man. We'll have to do it again soon. It was a blast. For all of us here at I Don't Give a Flick, I'm Johnny.
I'm Gary.
I'm Neil.
And you guys stay classy, bitches. See you next week.
That was unprofessional.
Thank you for tuning into LeadFeather Productions' podcast of I Don't Give a Flick. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast so that you never miss an episode. Podcasts are available on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are hosted. I Don't Give a Flick is hosted and produced by Johnny Blackburn, Gary Elmore, and Neil Riley. Executive producer Johnny Blackburn, technical director, editor, and audio mixer Gary Elmore. I Don't Give a Flick is a LeadFeather Productions, copyright LeadFeather Productions 2023.